Hello, boys and girls. Today we're going to talk about Native Americans, and let's get started. Native Americans were the people who lived in America before people from other countries came to America. Native Americans were known for respecting nature. They took care of the earth and only used what they needed. Native Americans are also known for using natural resources to meet their needs. If you're not sure what natural resources are, they're things in nature that people can use. Trees, water, rocks and stones, and they use buffalo. Native Americans lived in culture groups. The people in a culture group have the same way of life or the same way of living. A culture group is a group of people who live in the same region. The Native Americans lived in 6 different regions, as you can see on the map. There's the North Coast, right here, the California Intermountain, the Plains, Southwest, the Northeast Woodlands, and the Southeast Woodlands. So each region had different physical surroundings depending on where they lived. Some regions had forests, like the left picture that you see, and others were mostly desert. Also, others had oceans nearby them. Each region had different natural resources. So each culture group used the natural resources in its region to meet its needs. So as you can see, where the Plains Indians lived, they were very big on buffalo. Looks like over here they were more in the forest. And down here it looks like they had lots of berry resources to help keep them healthy. So for this reason, Native American culture groups had different homes depending on where they lived. Those who lived near deserts used clay or stones to build their homes. Those who lived on the plains used buffalo skin to make their homes. And others that lived near forests, they built their homes out of wood. Many Native American culture groups built their homes in villages or cities. These are the remains of an ancient Anasazi cliff village. As you can see, the village is built right next to a cliff. Other culture groups, like the Plains Indians, were nomadic, and they could not live in just one place. They had to move around and follow the buffalo to live. The physical surroundings of each region also affected how each culture group got its food. So Native Americans in the eastern woodland countries were very lucky. That region had forests, lakes, and rivers, and even an ocean, so it had a really good climate. These Native Americans could farm, hunt, and fish for food. There were no forests in the southwest region. The land was very rocky or uneven. There were many mesas or large rocks with flat tops. The Indians who lived in this region were farmers. They planted their crops on top of mesas. Native Americans in the California Intermountain region were known as the gatherers. There were few natural resources in this region. These Native Americans gathered acorns, seeds, and fruit. They also dug up plant roots to eat for food. Indians from the northwest coast hunted sea animals in the Pacific Ocean. There were many salmon in the rivers for them to eat, and they also hunted animals in the nearby forests. Buffalo were a natural resource in the plain region. The meat was used for food, the skins were used for shelter and clothing, and the bones were used for tools. The physical surroundings of the regions affected each culture's group's way of life in other ways too. There was much clay in the Southwest, so Native Americans that lived in this region used the clay to make beautiful pottery. The Northwest Coast region had many forests. The Native Americans in this region used wood from the forest to carve tall totem poles. An example is a picture below. The carvings on each totem pole told about a family's history. There were many buffalo in the Plains region. Native Americans who lived in this region were hunters. The Plains Indians had special ceremonies before big hunts. They danced to the music of drums, and they thought that this would bring them good luck when they went hunting. Native Americans in the California Intermountain region were expert basket weavers. They made beautiful baskets out of grasses and plants. Physical surroundings affected how the Indians traveled too. All Indians walked. Plains and Southwest Indians got horses from Spanish explorers, and Indians in the eastern, woodlands, northwest coast, and California Intermountain regions used canoes. All right, let's review. This is what we know. Native Americans were the first Americans. Native Americans respected nature. Native Americans used natural resources. Native Americans lived in different regions. Native Americans had different homes. Native Americans got food in different ways. Native American culture groups had different ways of life due to their different physical surroundings and natural resources. And that is the end of my Native American lesson. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed my lesson. And that is all.